Today, for you, I have a special treat. Some of you have seen me do my molly jig fishing videos in the past, and you may be asking, what's a molly jig? Well, I have this dog right here you can see on my cup named Molly. You'll notice that Molly has 3 different color kinds of fur, and she's shedding right now. So I'm going to make hair jigs with my Bernese Mountain Dog's hair, which is awesome. And you can do it with all kinds of different varieties of dogs. And so I'm going to show you how to tie up a molly jig. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a GoPro on so you can see this really well. We're going to go through each step of the process. I have all my different tools, so you will need a vise, your different fly tying materials, which if you want, you can buy them from the links in the description. And anyway, I'm going to show you how to do this. It's not that hard. You can make jigs, flies, all kinds of stuff right at home with your own dog's shedding hair. So I hope you'll enjoy this episode on how to tie up a molly jig. Okay, we're going to tie up a molly jig. So first things first, I need my thread. I'm going to go with some black. And all I need to get started is just a simple little square knot and come up over the head here. And then just start wrapping. And what I'm going to do is I don't want to cover the hook holder. The hook holder, or the bait holder, I mean, the bait holder's here. Actually, don't want to cover that. So I'm just going to go down a little ways because I want to be able to put a gulp or power minnow or something like that on there. So it's important to have that. Now, if you want at this point, you can trim this off. I'm going to go ahead and just trim it off. It's no big deal. We're going to be using this head cement as well, just to kind of make everything set up, so I don't need a fancy knot or anything. Now, this is a green jig. I'm going to go with a multicolored hair jig from Molly. So I've got a little black and white here. So we're going to start with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it over the top. And I'm going to gently just kind of pull it down. And get a little bit going here. Alright, I've got this extra up here. I like to have a little fuzz coming off of it, which is fine. So I've got a little bit of hair kind of coming off the back. The idea being that I'm going to eventually, again, put gulp or some other kind of bait back here. So I need to have it where it's able to hook onto there just so the fish don't pull it off. All right, so that's the first little piece. I'm going to get a little bit more of this black. The nice thing when your dog is shedding, they have clumps. All of you that have dogs know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to actually put this on the other side from underneath. We're going to get that on there nice and tight. Again, having a little extra fuzz popping out is just fine. You want it to mimic a minnow as much as possible. So now I've got a little bit of extra in here. I'm going to pull that off. Now, I don't want to go with too much hair. You want it to kind of flow and wave in the water so it looks alive. And so that's kind of the point of this hair jig, is you want it to look alive in the water. So I've got enough here that I'm comfortable with it. What I'm going to do again is like put a gulp minnow or a power minnow over that. I'm going to loop it on and I'm going to hook the head of it here. You can also just like take the head of the minnow, and I'll show you this in another video, and just kind of hook it sideways into there and just kind of let it flop and dangle. So like if you are working it fairly aggressive, it has a lot more action that way. I'll show you how to finish this up real quick. And we'll have our first molly jig. So if you have a dog at home and you want to actually make something with their hair, you can certainly do that. I'm just going to tie this up real quick. I'll do that a couple of times. All right, so we've got that. Just going to cut that off now. And then use our little head cement here. Hopefully it's still good. I haven't used it in a while. This is important. You do want to have a little something to hold it together. So what I'm going to do is just kind of turn this up a little bit. Put just a little on there. All right. And now what I'll do is I'll just let that sit and dry. And I'll have a molly jig ready to go. Go catch some big trout. So I'll have to add a video in here of me actually catching a trout on one of these.
Now this is a beautiful fish. Maybe the prettiest trout I've ever caught. Oh my gosh. That's a cut. I told the kids there are cutthroat in here. Alright. Look at that cutthroat, baby. Woo! Woo! Man, oh man. John Bass with a big old cutthroat. Look at that belly. Get in there, Katie. Check that out, man. Wow. Look at that. Doesn't get much prettier than that. Dude.
Angling Wisdom has been brought to you by TB Custom Rods, Kafaru, and PK Lures. Don't forget to subscribe to Angling Wisdom on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts so you don't miss any of our new episodes. Also go to anglingwisdom.com for more fishing content. Until next time, I'll see you out on the water.